As a cowboy, I feel proud. I think my kids feel proud to be cowboys, cowgirls.
Black and proud, cowboy style.
I've been a cowboy all my life.
I would say as long as you have it in your heart, you can be a cowboy.
Black people, the OCs, original cowboys.
You should have seen the expression on his face.
Hmm.
He said, "Oh my God, there really are Black cowboys and cowgirls."
The real history of black cowboys and cowgirls, black and country, cowboy culture, right now on Blackland.
And now,
As a brown person, you just feel so invisible.
where we're from,
Brothers and sisters, I welcome you to this joyful day.
we celebrate freedom. Where we are
Get on the ground!
I know someone heard something.
and where we're going.
We the people means all the people.
The Black Information Network presents Blackland with your host, Vanessa Tyler.
We're down on the family farm with real black cowboys and a cowgirl. The Hooks family, Dad Marvin, son Julian, and daughter Liana.
Hello, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
All three live the cowboy lifestyle in Flemington, New Jersey, where there is enough land for farming.
We have goats, cows. We have these Dexter cows. These are miniature cows that, people have small, farms find themselves going after these types of, animals. These are small, cows. They're just a little, maybe half the size as a regular cow. But the meat is good, the milk is good. They're just a good, animal to have. And also the pigs, the chickens, you have the fresh eggs if you want. And also we have a little garden, so we grow things that we need. We have fruit trees on our property. We have Asian pear trees, black walnuts, persimmons. So we have pretty much a lot of, variety of livestock and vegetation on the property. It's just a way of living that we enjoy. We enjoy working outside. We enjoy nature. We enjoy animals. All those things come together. Hard work, of course. All those things come together, and those are things that attracted us to this type of lifestyle.
Julian, you're 22 years old.
Yeah.
Being a cowboy, is that something that you wanted to do as a young man? How does that fit into today's 22-year-olds?
Well, I mean, I would say it's definitely a conversation piece. Anybody ever asked me like how it is to live on a farm, I can definitely always talk for hours about it. When you asked like if it's something like that I wanted to do, I wouldn't say it's something I've always dreamed of doing, but it definitely is something that I enjoy and found a lot of like fulfillment and enjoyment in. You can definitely learn a lot about life. Working on a farm, tending to animals and learning from them, as well as, growing within yourself while you help the farm grow.
Being
Yeah.
a cowgirl, right now, I got to tell you, it's quite popular. Let's thank Beyonce for that.
Right?
What do you think of all this attention that cowgirls are now getting?
I think it's fun. After Beyonce dropped her album, it made me kind of want to wear my cowboy hat, around a bit to kind of show that I really am a cowgirl, and I think it's fun. And just to be able to embrace a different side of me, it's nice. Yeah.
You're 25.
Right.
What does being a cowgirl mean? I know your dad mentioned hard work. So, what does it really mean?
Well, for me, I'd say it's more of taking care of the animals. My dad and my brother are the ones who really enjoy riding the horses. So I'm more of I'll give them a snack, brush their hair out. But for me, yeah, it's enjoying the outdoors, it's feeding the animals, and it's just having fun.
But this black family is living a double life because about 61 miles away, Brooklyn, New York, is where the family lives as well.
So I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So I'm a young person. When I say young, probably like a young teenager, I've always, been attracted to business. And so, of course, I've had several businesses in my lifetime. And we have a couple, like the family farm is a business. Also have we have a franchise. My daughter and son and I, we have a franchise. and I also pastor a church, and yeah, so we do quite a few things to kind of balance life out.
Also, the church Dr. Marvin Hooks pastors is in Brooklyn. You can say he leads a flock, literally and spiritually.
I always hear people say, "Oh, you're doing too much," but I don't feel I'm doing much. I feel like I'm doing what I want to do. I think I'm contributing in a huge way to my community, my communities, my family as well. So I find the balance in just doing what I think God gave me the ability to do. And I'm I have a lot of gifts and I can do a lot of things and, walk and chew gum at the same time. And I feel that it's not overwhelming, not overburdened. I just find peace in the things I do in life. So it works out.
But this chosen life of discipline, hard work, old fashioned values, all under a 10-gallon cowboy hat.
People your age would be in a club or something.
Right. And that is true. I mean, I try not to miss out on the farm lifestyle, or like just I would say quote unquote normal lifestyle. I don't let really the two things interfere. And of course, like I bring like people that I'm close with, my friends, to experience like the farm life, and they always enjoy it.
I think about young people, especially young men your age, in the violence. I mean, obviously, you already know. Um, would that change them if they lived that kind of lifestyle?
I'm glad you asked that, because I think it really is a good release, for a lot of the emotions that, I mean, young men feel. Um, just being out in the fresh air, being able to channel your physicality into something besides violence, into work, into training animals, into maybe something as even as advanced as riding horses. It definitely does create a very important release that a lot of people don't have access to. And I do think that yes, I do think that if more people were introduced to the farm life like I was, there definitely would be a decrease in violence. Yes.
When people see us on our horses, for example, they'll ask us, who owns those horses? And we we always say, well, we own them. We know these are our horses, because there's the assumption that, we don't own horses or can't own them. But, owning your own property, owning, livestock, it's just a really liberating thing to do.
When it's time to saddle up and tell the real history of cowboys, we can count on Larry Callis. The cowboy life is his passion and his mission to make sure we know our history. Larry Callis, howdy and welcome.
Howdy. Thank you for having me.
Larry Callis owns the nation's only Black Cowboy Museum. It's located in Rosenberg, Texas, about half hour from Houston.
Did you know blacks were singing country music in the 1850s?
I did not.
One of them skinned to me. You can look him up. His name's Charlie Willis. He's a singing cowboy from Texas.
Callis has a voice condition. He used to be a country singer, says he had the same manager as popular white country artist George Strait, and shared the same band with another country music star, Clint Black. But now, with his vocal dysfunction, Larry Callis says the idea of a museum dedicated to Black cowboys came from above.
God asked me to open up a Black cowboy museum. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to be a country and western singer, but I lost my voice. And God asked me to open up a Black cowboy museum. I say, God, I can't even talk. Why do you want me to open up a Black cowboy museum? He said, step out in faith. That's when I stepped out in faith. I even wrote a book called Here Comes Larry Callis Step Out in Faith. And it's selling like hotcakes.
His book, Here Comes Larry Callis, Stepping Out in Faith. And for the record, cowboys were originally Black men.
A white man in the 1800s wouldn't be called a cowboy because they had a house, a yard, and a that worked the cow.
Then they changed it to houseboy, yard boy, and cowboy. Callis's uncle, Uncle Willie, born June 19th, 1919, in El Campo, Texas, always gave wise advice.
He said, you better not call a white man a cowboy. And back in the 1800s, you had to be black to be a cowboy.
You a lawman or an outlaw?
Bit of both, I reckon.
That's a clip from the TV miniseries about Bass Reeves, the first black U.S. Marshal known and feared in the upper Midwest Territory. He was a legend.
They put him on the radio. They said, I'm going to tell you the story. You heard of the Lone Ranger?
Yes.
Bass Reeves was a real Lone Ranger.
And he was black.
He was black. He was born a slave in 1838. When he turned 15, he hit his master. He knocked him out. He knew that was sudden death. So he stole the master's horse and he rode to Oklahoma. He got in with the Indians. They took him in for 20 years. In 1865, when the slaves were free, he went to Oklahoma to be a U.S. Marshal. He went to the hanging judge, Judge Parker. He said, I want to be a U.S. Marshal. Judge Parker said, you got to know how to read and write to be a U.S. Marshal. He said, I can't do either one. Judge Parker knew that because it was illegal to teach a slave to read and write. So he said, but I got a good memory. Judge Parker said, okay, go get these 5 people. He named each one of them. He told them where they lived. He told them everything about them. He remembered everything. He said, you have 2 months to get them. And you can bring them back dead or alive. He didn't like to kill people. So he caught all 5 of them and he brought them back alive in 3 weeks. They made him a U.S. Marshal.
The story of cowboy turned U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves on the radio was riveting. He captured 3,000 convicts. Then it got out. Bass Reeves was black, and the white listeners lost it.
Oh, Lord. When they said it was a black man, he had 100 phone calls saying they wouldn't listen to the radio station anymore. The man said, why? He said, because you said the Lone Ranger was a black man. He said, no, I didn't say he was a black man. I say he wore a black mask. So in 1950, when they invented the TV, they wanted to put Bass Reeves on the TV. But they knew they weren't going to accept him. So they put a white man with a black mask on.
So, when the popular show was put on American television from 1949 to 1957, the Lone Ranger had to be white. And when Hollywood took over...
What the hell are you doing here? I'm looking at a tin star with a drunk pinned on it.
In popular movies starring mega Hollywood-made cowboy John Wayne, you didn't see black cowboys. Cut from the big screen, almost cut out of history.
We've been lied to for 100 years.
That's where his Black Cowboys Museum comes in. There are photos of real cowboys, a saddle from the 1800s, a sword from a Buffalo Soldier, that group of black men hired by the U.S. Army to battle the Indians, with hair like a buffalo and the strength of a buffalo, too. Callis says, like yesterday, many of today's cowboys ride in rodeos.
Here we go again. Bill Pickett Rodeo has been thrilling audiences for 4 decades with its action-packed rodeo events honoring the tradition and heritage of cowboy culture.
The Bill Pickett Rodeo, where black cowboys show off their riding, roping, wrangling skills. Valeria Howard Cunningham is the heart and soul of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, also known as the greatest show on dirt for decades.
Well, the Bill Pickett, as you know, is celebrating our 40th anniversary. So we operate with 4 and 5 generations of cowboys and cowgirls that have been traveling with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo across the United States. Some of our contestants, I remember when they were in their mother's stomach, and they have grown up with the Bill Pickett and now they are competing. So we have cowboys and cowgirls from all over the United States that travel with us. We have members that join the organization new each year. And then we have members that have been with us for the whole time. What's important to us as an organization is that we also groom our young kids to have a safe place to perform and learn and showcase their skills as they are developing to become champions. We have young kids as young as 3 years old that compete in our rodeos. And then we have some contestants that are as old as in their 60s that compete.
I'm just wondering what's common? Like are there common characteristics for people who are part of this organization? Certainly it's family is generational, as you said, but it's more like a lifestyle. Would you be able to address that?
Absolutely. It is a lifestyle. These cowboys and cowgirls, they're passionate about what they do. They may have other jobs. We have nurses, we have attorneys, we have corporate managers, we have people that do a lot of different professional jobs. But on the weekends, they are rodeo ready. They own farms, they have horses, they love animals and they love rodeo. So they are committed to it. And this is part of their life.
The rodeo, named after Bill Pickett, a rider like no other. He had a signature style, bulldogging his steer to submission.
Bill Pickett was a cowboy back in the late 1800s. He had a skill, and he created a rodeo event that's called steer wrestling or bulldogging. He is the one who created that event. But nobody knows anything about Bill Pickett. He was a ranch hand. He worked in Oklahoma, and his brothers were very good at entertaining crowds. So Bill Pickett starred in some films back then.
Instead of letting him ride off into the sunset, her late husband, Lou Vasson, helped keep his name alive with a rodeo.
Nobody talked about Bill Pickett and knew who Bill Pickett was. Lou Vasson, as he was studying about the Blacks in the development of the West, said, you know what? We need to give Bill Pickett his due and his credit. So he went and found the Pickett family and got permission from them to name the Rodeo Association after Bill Pickett. So that's how Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo evolved. So one of the reasons my late husband decided to create this rodeo association is he wanted to educate the communities about the Blacks in the development of the West, and also to showcase that there are thousands of Black cowboys and cowgirls that actually compete in rodeo. So what we have done is brought all of that together, traveled around the United States to 34 different cities, educating people about Blacks in rodeo.
And what an education to see them ride.
We have bareback and ranch bronc riding. We have tie-down roping, steer wrestling, ladies barrel racing, ladies steer and decorating, ladies breakaway, and bull riding. And then we do not leave our kids out. So we have the junior barrel racing, pee-wee barrel racing. We also have the junior breakaway. And it's important to us that we include our kids and teach them skills while they're early so that they can become the future champions in the rodeo world. So we believe we have to tell our own history, and that's what we do every time we rodeo. We tell our history today, of the past and current, because there are so many Black cowboys and cowgirls today that are making history every day that they perform.
Valeria Howard Cunningham believes her Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo would be just what's needed to steer our kids from crime and wrangle them in the right direction.
We have a nonprofit organization, and we believe we should give back to every community that gives to us. So we embrace our communities. We do different workshops in different cities about anti-violence, bringing young men in and talking to them about different options that they have. We do different workshops trying to introduce our young teenagers to what agriculture is all about and the career opportunities that exist within the USDA. So we are trying to embrace our youth by educating them on different opportunities and different ways to approach things. You know, a lot of people come to our rodeos. Their parents either write or call and say, we can't believe we just saw a 5-year-old competing or riding those big horses. How can we get our kids involved in that? Or they'll call and say, we don't like you very much right now because ever since we left your rodeo, our kid has been saying, I want a horse, I want to learn how to ride. So what we do is try to connect those people with local community organizations where their kids can learn how to embrace the animals and learn how to ride.
She says to see the looks on the faces of first-timers, she still tells the story of a little boy who touched her soul.
You should have seen the expression on his face. He said, oh my God, there really are Black cowboys and cowgirls. And I happened to be standing there, and tears just came down my face because that's what it's all about. Teaching our communities that Black cowboys and Black cowgirls are real. And we have been doing that for 40 years.
See the rodeo. It will be in Fort Worth, Texas, May 18th, then back in June for Juneteenth, Oakland and LA in July, Georgia in August.
We identify our top 10 winners from each event, and they are invited to our national finals in Washington, D.C. And that is on September the 21st. That's where we crown our 2024 champions for the year.
Valeria Howard Cunningham, thank you for joining us, and see you at the rodeo.
Thank you, and I look forward to it. And remember, we are the greatest show on dirt.
For the Hooks family, hard work, love of the land, faith, and family remain strong. It's in them. And when Julian, who is 22, and Liana, 25, start their own families, they just might keep the cowboy culture.
Well, I'm not sure about that yet, but I'll definitely start small, build up if I end up, enjoying the lifestyle like for myself, and I'll see where it goes. Like I said, I do think living this type of lifestyle can create a lot of good lessons. So I can definitely see it.
I feel like I agree with Julian. I'd probably start small. One of the first animals we got was a baby goat, and you'd be surprised at how intelligent goats are and how much of a companion animal they are, almost comparable to a dog. So I'd probably see how my family feels about it, and if they're as passionate as Julian and I are, I'd say I'd do it as well.
Will you marry a cowboy? Will you find
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Well, the Hooks family.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a pleasure to meet all of you. Happy trails.
Oh, happy trails, you, and thank you.
I'm Vanessa Tyler. Be sure to like and subscribe to Blackland on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.